middle, toddle, and at 21.
She's excelled by none.
21.
She's excelled by none.
Comes to claim the royal hand. Oh, great and glory double graces for the king who rules this glory land. He reigns blessed land.
Be good enough to inform His Majesty that His Grace the Duke of Plaza Toro Limited has arrived and begs...
Desires, demands.
And demands an audience. Oh.
Come on, lads.
And now, my child, prepare to receive the husband to whom you were united in such interesting and romantic circumstances.
But which one is there? There are two of them.
It's true that at present His Majesty is a double gentleman, but as soon as the circumstances of his marriage are ascertained, he will ipso facto boil down to a single gentleman, thereby providing a unique example of an individual who becomes a single man and a married man by the same operation.
I have known instances when the characteristics of both conditions run concurrently in the same individual.
He couldn't have been a Plaza Toro.
Oh, couldn't he though?
Well, of course, I shall be a dutiful wife, but I shall never love my husband.
Oh, I don't know. It's extraordinary what unprepossessing people one can love, if one gives one's mind to it.
I loved your father.
My love, that remark is a little hard, I think. Rather cruel, perhaps. Somewhat uncalled for, I venture to believe.
It was very difficult, my dear. But I said to myself, that man is a duke and I will love him. Several of my relations bet me I couldn't, but I did. Desperately.
On the day when I was wedded to your admirable sire, I acknowledge that I dreaded an explosion of his eye. I was overcome with panic, for his temper was volcanic, and I didn't dare revolt, for I feared a thunderbolt. I was always very wary, for his glory was ecstatic, his refined vocabulary most unpleasantly emphatic. To the thunder of his chatter, I went on like a martyr. When intently he was fuming, I was gently unassuming. When reviling me completely, I was smiling very sweetly. I was smiling very sweetly, very sweetly. In the very best and getting at the very best, it is how I tried to tame your great progenitor and best. In the very best and getting back the very worst, that is how I tried to tame your great But I found that her reliance on my threatening appearance and a resolute defiance of marital interference and a gentle intimation of my firm determination to see what I could do to be wife and husband too. 'Twas the only thing required for to make his temper supple, and you couldn't have desired a more reciprocating couple. Ever willing to be wooing, we were beaming, we were cooing. When I when my husband finds out what a shady family he's married into, he will repudiate the contract altogether.
Shady? A nobleman shady who's blazing in the lustre of unaccustomed pocket money? And this just as I've been floated at a premium. Oh, fie!
Your Majesty is surely unaware that directly your father appeared before the public, he was played for over and over again.
My dear, Her Majesty's husband was in the habit of being applied for over and over again, and very urgently applied for too, long before he was registered under the Limited Liability Act. To help unhappy commoners and add to their enjoyment, affords a man of noble rank congenial employment. Of our attempts we offer you examples illustrated. The work is light, and I may add, it's most remunerative. Small titles and orders for mayors and recorders I get, and they're highly delighted.
They're highly delighted.
MPs baroneted, sham colonels gazetted, second-rate aldermen knighted.
Yes, aldermen knighted.
Foundation stone laying I find very paying, adds a large sum to my makings.
Large sum to his makings.
At charity dinners, the best of speech spinners, I get 10% on the takings.
1/10 of the takings. I present any lady whose conduct is shady or smacking of doubtful propriety.
Doubtful propriety.
When virtue would quash her, I take a great washer and lodge her in first-rate society.
First-rate society.
I recommend acres of clumsy dressmakers, their fit and their finishing touches.
Their finishing touches.
A sum in addition they pay for permission to say that they make for a duchess.
They make for the Duchess. Those pressing prevailers, the ready-made tailors, quote me as their great double barrel.
Their great double barrel.
I allow them to do so, though Robinson Crusoe would jib at their wearing apparel.
Such wearing apparel.
I sit by selection upon the direction, several companies bubble.
Your company's bubble.
As soon as they're floated, I'm freely banknoted, I'm pretty well paid for my trouble.
He's paid for his trouble. At middle-class party I play at our party, and I'm by no means a beginner.
She's not a beginner.
To one of my station the remuneration 5 guineas a night and my dinner.
And wine with a dinner.
I write letters blatant on many since patent and use any other. You mustn't.
Believe me, you mustn't.
And now my complexion derives its perfection from somebody's skin, which it doesn't.
It certainly doesn't. We're ready as a witness to anyone's fitness to fill any place or preferment.
A place of preferment. We're often in waiting, a junket or fleeting, and sometimes attendant interment.
We enjoy an interment.
And short of a kindle, the stroke of a swindle, your simpletons into your clutches, yes, into your clutches. For holding a debtor, you cannot do better than trot out a duke or a duchess.
A duke or a duchess. Their Majesties, Your Majesty.
The Duke of Plaza Limited.
Very limited.
The same. Allow me to present...
The young lady to which one of us is married.
Gentlemen, I
I am the most obedient servant of one of you. Louis.
I am about to address myself to the gentleman whom my daughter married. The other gentleman may allow his attention to wander if he likes, for what I am about to say does not concern him. Sir, you will find in this young lady a combination of excellencies which you would search for in vain in any young lady who had not the good fortune to be my daughter. There seems to be some little doubt as to which is the gentleman I am addressing and which is the gentleman who is allowing his attention to wander. But as soon as that doubt is solved, I shall say, still addressing the attentive gentleman, take her, and may she make you happier than her mother has made me. If possible. And now there is a little matter to which I think I'm entitled to take exception. I come here in state with Her Grace the Duchess and Her Majesty my daughter, and what do I find? Do I find a guard of honor?